Welcome back to another episode of American Heroes Outdoors. This one brings us to Rock Falls, Wisconsin, Rock Falls Raceway, the ZenZen family. Travis Soroki, our ambassador, is on the ground capturing the story, and it doesn't disappoint. It's a little bit out of our wheelhouse on a racetrack, doing drag racing, but the stories of service and sacrifice remain the same. And we'll also highlight our next Moorhead Scheels hometown hero, Betsy Miller. It's going to be a great episode. Stay tuned.
American Heroes Outdoors shares the stories of our nation's true heroes, a documentation of journey, commitment, struggle, and healing. A glimpse into the sacrifice and bravery of our service men and women. This is American Heroes Outdoors.
Hi everybody, Travis Soroki here for American Heroes Outdoors. We're at Rock Falls Raceway in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We're going to be featuring Captain Brian ZenZen of the National Guard, his father Ron, and a bunch of other veterans that are out here competing this weekend here at Rock Falls Raceway. You know, we do a lot of fishing and hunting with veterans, but there are other outlets, and some of the other outlets are motorsports. There are a lot of veterans that are either drag racers, race stock cars. It's a whole different gamut, and we're looking forward to bringing you a little bit more unique show here on American Heroes Outdoors.
My dad started racing almost 50 years ago, and as long as I can remember my first word, my first memory, it's all been about drag racing. I started racing when I was 9 years old in the junior drag racing leagues. Moved up to a big car on my 16th birthday, and I've been doing it ever since.
Yes, my daughter and my son, you know, they basically grew up at a drag strip. Everywhere I went, they went. And I made up my mind back then when the junior dragster category came out in the 90s. I thought, now here is an excellent way of getting the kids and the family involved in drag racing. When Brian got to be of age to running juniors, we ran 2 junior dragsters. When I was running super stock yet, so that was one very busy day. 6, 7 o'clock at night, you're exhausted. And you still have to service the cars, get everything cleaned up, ready for the next day. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do the same thing, because the rewards on the other end, unbelievable.
You know, a lot of people join the service for a feeling of a sense of belonging, family, camaraderie, and that's something that you get at the racetrack. I mean, you can't replicate that level that you get from the service and being in the military, and it is also hard to replicate it on the race side. Some of my best friends I grew up with racing junior dragsters, and we still talk to this day. Our kids hang out with their kids. You know, I'm still close with their parents, they're still close with my parents, and that's something that you can't get in other sports. And it's the same with the military. You know, you make lifelong connections, you go through different schools and different services that just, they never get, they can't be replicated.
I think you know, once in a while you let the competitive deal get a hold of you a little bit too much, and I was very guilty of that. The early years, you kind of lose track of what this sport is all about, because it's a family thing. You know, once in a while you just kind of forget about that and you get into the competitive edge a little bit more, and once in a while you put on the brakes and just think about, you know, what you're doing and how much fun you're having, and you know what may not work out this weekend is going to work out next weekend. It'll all come out in the wash. It's something you really can't let it get after you too much.
American Heroes Outdoors is brought to you by Skeeter Boats and Yamaha Outboards, Scheels, Disabled American Veterans, Woodland Resort, Smoky Hills Outdoor Store and Ice Castle Fish Houses, Minn Kota and Hummingbird, Innovative Sign and Graphics, S&S Promotional Group, and Base Camp Country Real Estate.
Designed for deep water and big waves, the Skeeter WX series offers no compromise performance, and the Solera series brings the whole family together. Proven with 21 consecutive NMMA Consumer Satisfaction Awards. When you're ready to rule the water regardless of the conditions, the WX series will take you where you want to go in style, comfort, and safety. Bringing your family closer together fishing or skiing, the Solera series can do it all. Skeeter, it's more than just a boat, it's a lifestyle.
Well, like I said yesterday, as long as the car continues to go in the trailer under its own power, it's going to be a good day, but hopefully get some wind lights today. I think the car should run great. It's a beautiful day for racing, so let's see how it goes.
Hope the car goes straight, should be a nice run. At this point, I'm just really kind of going through what my routine's going to be in the burnout box, making sure everything's good to go. Shifter's not armed, air bottle's on to turn the car, so should be good.
I was so happy. I was listening to the first and second shift, the second and third shift, and and the way the car left, you know, we kind of guessed at the strut adjustment in the front, but very happy the way the car left. I mean, that couldn't have been more of a picture-perfect pass, especially with the air the way it is right now.
I'll note what the weather was on the weather station, log it in the logbook, and then that way when we get closer to first round, I can see, okay, the weather changed this much. Cars usually will slow down as the weather gets worse. My reaction time this morning, 45 on the tree. Could probably tighten that up a little bit. That's not terrible, but a guy ran Dave Bogner, national event champion, he was 33, so a little bit better. You know, time trials, qualifying, it's all just about finding your spot on the tree, but I think we're in a good spot for the first round. I've had uncles, I've had grandparents in the military, and it wasn't my first choice. My sister decided to enlist in 2006, and it was one of those things that I had always kind of thought of growing up, and decide to enlist into the Minnesota Army National Guard. You know, service to my country and service to, you know, the state of Minnesota was something that, you know, when I started talking about it, it was kind of a no-brainer and something that I still enjoy serving to this day.
Just the experiences, you know, you're going to lock yourself up in a house and do nothing all your life, you know, rather than get out and experience stuff, whether it be racing or the PD experience. I mean, some of the things that I saw and experienced at the PD were just, like I said before, were just unbelievable. I never thought stuff like that went on.
The most rewarding part that I have been able to garner as an officer is mentoring junior soldiers and just, you know, helping people throughout their careers and helping them not necessarily, you know, there's kind of the job of command as retention, but helping soldiers understand their role in the military. You know, I remember as a junior soldier sometimes thinking, you know, what the heck are we doing here? It's just connecting with soldiers, making sure they understand their part in the bigger picture, their part in their service to their state and their nation. But I think it's just kind of been that mentorship piece and continuing to steward service to our state and our nation is something that I really enjoy. So just kind of walking through a run, the first thing that I do when I'm pulling into the burnout, whenever you fire the car, it's either got to be in neutral or park. With this car, when I come into the burnout, I'll put it in second gear, And then my dad will be there spotting me in the water. He puts me in a spot, gives me the sign to stop. So I'll sit there with my foot on the brake until they give me the signal to go. So I'll let my foot off the brake, run the gas up on the tack to about 6,000. As soon as it hits 6,000, I put it in high gear in the burnout for about another 3 to 4 seconds until dad gives me the signal. Then I'll let go of the line lock. That lets go of the front brakes. The car will power out of the burnout, and when I'm coming out of the burnout, my dad's got me spotted or wherever he thinks the perfect spot for traction is going to be. I'll stop, foot on the brake, put it back in neutral, clear the carb out, so I'll just rev it up once in neutral, then I put it in first gear, and then I have to go down to this switch. This switch arms this mechanism here, and this mechanism will actually shift the car, and you'll see it on the in-car video, but when I go through and stage the car, it's in first gear. And both lights are pre-staged, the pre-staged bulbs are on. When I find the spot that I want to leave on the tree, I'll let go of the trans brake, and then all the fun starts. So the front end will come up in the air. When the computer here reads what the tach says, it'll get the first gear shift. This little mechanism kind of works just like a paintball gun. It'll shoot the shifter forward, and that'll actually kick it back into second gear. It gets back up to 7,900, first to second or second to third. It'll kick it into high, and the whole time, I'm just hanging on. In a qualifying run, you're just here in the car, making sure everything sounds good. The car goes through the finish line, I'll let off the gas, keep it in drive. I'll watch till the tack comes down, let the engine come down a little bit, and then just before the turn off, I'll put it back in neutral, shut it off, and come right back to the pits.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the show. I want to take you down into the pits, introduce you to a couple Vietnam veterans that are also here racing this weekend at Rock Falls Raceway.
Vietnam, you didn't have a choice. You know, you were going to get drafted. I knew I was getting drafted, and I told you earlier that I signed up for the Navy because my brother was serving at the time. My dad had done 20 years in the Navy, so of course you're going to the Navy. And I was ignorant enough, I didn't know what a CB was. And it was Construction Battalion. That's what the CB stood for, Mobile Construction Battalion. So I ended up spending 21 months in Vietnam, 2 separate tours. I could fix anything. So they flew me all over the place. Helicopter here. So we had equipment that would break out there, and you'd have to go out there. That was a little scary. You didn't want to be there at nighttime. And all equipment had big metal plates, 3/4 inch plate on the bottom. And so they're running a big dozer. They run over a mine. It doesn't kill them. And we had about 3 dozers get blown up to pieces. You know, they were no good. They were junk. You didn't even tell people you were in Vietnam. You didn't tell them. You didn't tell them you're in the service. You know? Totally different nowadays.
70, 71, I was in Phu Thai Valley, which is near Quy Nhon. I was there my whole tour at Combat Engineers. Initially, I was supposed to drive big truck convoys. That was my original MOS, but when I got over there, they were rebuilding the compound that we moved into. So, again, I had considerable construction experience. They kept me there to help build all the new barracks. Poured a lot of cement, built a lot of barracks.
Almost a duplicate of the first run, which is good. 003 on the tree, so it's 3 thou away from a perfect light there. So probably have to tail that off just a little bit going into eliminations. But no, the thing worked great again. Track's good. Could be a little bit hotter. Probably gonna go through 2 shirts today, but looks like it'll be a good day. See where I have first round here.
It is depressing, sad, or whatever when you lose, but looking over the numbers, I'm very happy. The car should never have run this fast, and it did. So what we did to it and what we changed in the transmission and in the front end, so evidently it really helped it. It's a good 1/10 faster than it should have been, so I'm happy with it. You know what? It's shiny side up, it's running. We're able to go to the next event without doing much of anything, so it's still a good day.
You know, especially in the military, you might go through something where, okay, that didn't work, or you know, you find humility pretty quick. And it's just one of those things, you know, as long as I've been in the military and as long as I've been, you know, racing long before anything, kind of understand and was taught the value of sportsmanship and, you know, being somebody that can learn from their mistakes. You know, the military is a learning organization, and that's all you can do with this is, you know, pick yourself up. You might feel bad for yourself for a couple minutes, but, you know, you've seen guys that throw things around and get mad. What's that going to do? Nothing. So you just got to pick yourself back up, figure out what you're going to do tomorrow, and execute a new strategy. So
thanks for coming along to Rock Falls Raceway this weekend, learning about some of our veterans and what we do here at Rock Falls Raceway. I hope you enjoyed it.
Here at Smoky Hills Outdoor Store, we understand the importance of spending quality time with family and friends. Sitting around a bonfire camping, pulling a fish through an ice hole. That's why we have ice castle experts to make sure you get into the right ice castle. And of course, we have a premier service center to back that up and keep you on the road. From our family to yours, let's get back to what matters.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. And now it's time for our next Moorhead Scheels hometown hero, Betsy Miller.
My name is Ashley. We're here at Scheels Home and Hardware here in Fargo, North Dakota, and we are so excited to honor Elizabeth Miller as our next Scheels hometown hero.
Welcome to Scheels Hometown Heroes.
Scheels Hometown Heroes is a way for us to say thanks to those that serve our country and our community
and are still giving back to others today.
We honor your service by sharing your stories.
From all of us at Scheels, thank you for your service.
Hi, Elizabeth. My name is Ashley.
Hi.
I'm here with Scheels, and we have an award for you. You're the next Scheels Hometown Hero. And this is just a token of our appreciation. We want to say thank you for everything you've done and how you've served your country, your community, past, present, and future. And we have some special people here for you. I definitely think there's a surprise here. Are they hiding? So on behalf of Scheels, we just want to say thank you so much for everything you do. So.
Just an extremely hard worker. She's very humble, very motivated. She loves being a cop. She's doing it for all the right reasons. She's just a great person to be around. She's very compassionate and caring. And she just encompasses all of our mission, vision, and values at the PD. And it's great that you guys do this, just especially in today's day and age and how law enforcement seems to be viewed. I know that in our community we have a lot of support, but there's certainly people that don't have that. So it's good to recognize, you know, the good work that officers go out and do on a daily basis, and she certainly encompasses all those things and everything that she does.
So I grew up in Moorhead, Minnesota. That's where I was born and raised. I went through all grade schools in Moorhead. I graduated from Moorhead High School in 2009. That's where my stomping grounds have been.
My father was in the Air Guard. I was full-time Air Guard, and she grew up with the Happy Hooligans out of the North Dakota Air Guard. Joined the Air Guard when she was a senior in high school, and security forces, which she's continuously in right now. And then her older sister, Erin, became a police officer, and she thought that was pretty cool.
Everything that she wants to do, she sets 110% out and she does it. When she told me she was applying to be a cop, I looked at her and I said, you know what this is, right? Like, it's not a walk in the park. It's not something you just one day dabble in, and she has excelled beyond what I have expected she'd want to do.
I actually swore in before my deployment with the Fargo Police Department. So I've been with the department since 2016. I deployed back in 2017 through 2018. I went to Southwest Asia, so my job was the coordinator for the flyway security team. Flew around with aircraft and provided security for those aircraft in the area of operation.
I guess I've just always enjoyed watching her use her human side and her kind of a machine side, you know, military and law enforcement. You kind of expect them to be a little bit more of a machine, and she has such a good balance of that human nature and her work nature.
You know, we talked to both girls. You know, is this what your career path wants to be? We're concerned, you know, and law enforcement wasn't looked upon favorably, you know, and I get asked that a lot when they hear both our daughters are police officers, and Betsy's in the military and Erin was in the military. You know, and our basic answer is we just turn it over to God, you know. I mean, it is what it is. We can't control it. And they said, what'd you guys teach us growing up? Do what you love to do, and we love doing it. And so we're proud of the girls doing that, you know, so. Of course, we're concerned every night we go to bed, but we pray for their safety.
Right now, I'm a canine handler with Fargo Police. I have Canine Toby, who is my partner. He's an explosives detection and a patrol working dog.
Oh, it's cool. I mean, Toby, her canine partner, is tremendous. Betsy is just dedicated to him and his life. The training she does with him and the stories she tells us that what they do on the streets. She just loves it, and you can see it in her. Just makes us proud of her dedication to not only the country, but the citizens of Fargo.
In the canine world, she lives and breathes it. She doesn't just go home and get to say, all right, Toby, we're done for the day, I'm done with you. She is 24 hours a day, living, breathing canine handler.
I want to be that difference, and you know, I want to engage with people and show them, you know, we're human too, you know. And I want to be able to build that trust with anyone who needs our help.
She just encompasses everything about serving and selfless service for our country and our community.
Another great story of service and sacrifice with the ZenZen family. It was awesome to be there capturing that. It was great that Travis was able to be on the ground. Military, law enforcement, racing, a bunch of American traditions. It was just an awesome place to be.
The outdoors is the outdoors. It's telling those stories. That's what it's all about. So I can't wait to show you the next one, because the next one, we're going to be heading up to Canada to Clark's Fly-In Outpost with Mandatory Fun Outdoors for an adventure that I've been looking forward to for a long time.
Looking forward to that one. Stay tuned.